This is your daily market recap for Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. Let's get into it. Hopefully you had a great holiday weekend. Might be a little tired today, as I am. Stayed up pretty late last night watching some fireworks. Let's just start off by saying today was an amazing day. If you were paying attention to the weekend recaps, you knew that this might be you didn't know the market would gap down. Let's say it what it is. If the market did gap down, it might be an amazing buy opportunity because of seasonality. We've talked about that in many videos. So again, if you are newer to the channel, I also talk about this in the room. Stop by the Discord room. Link is in the description below. Please subscribe on YouTube. Again, I do this every day for the purpose of keeping you informed of what I'm thinking, how, and the evidence. The evidence is just the most important part. There's someone in our room today who's talking about gut feelings and intuitions. And as much as I want to be nice, my intuition and gut feeling as a newer trader was exactly what got me in trouble, because I thought, based on the environment's data that I was picking up, my gut was picking up on senses for certain particular moves. And guess what? My gut kept me in a trade way longer than I should have, and I ended up really getting hurt some of the beginning trades many years ago. And that's what I'm trying to warn against is, be evidence-based. You don't come into the room where you come in, or trading, you don't trade off of your gut feeling, because that's not a repeatable formula, evidence-based. So let's get into evidence-based trading. Again, check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below. Bitcoin. What did we say? You got to hold this green zone. So this is nice little capitulation. Just like that, you should bounce. Now what? It's down a lot. I mean, it's pretty simple trade. It's pretty binary. Your stop is at the low, and if you buy here, try to buy it nearer the lows and set your stops. Walk away. Let it do what it's gonna do. Let it party. Let it soak. Let it marinate. Whatever you want to call it. That's part of trading. Now, everybody wants to be a day trader and get rich quick, and the irony is that the biggest trades you'll ever make that are the most safe are typically things that you have to sit on and let play out. A lot of people don't get that, but that is trading. All right, oil. Hello, darling. Hello. Talked about this lower high. Talked about it failing. Now you broke, making lower lows. People go, "What is your downside target?" Guess what? It's probably either the channel low or what I've said a million times, is 65 to 60 area. Now again, we are going into a recession. It's just a matter of how deep, how long. I don't expect oil to go in one direction, just like the market. Like, you have to, people don't realize a bear market is a trading market. It's not an investing market. There's a huge difference. If you buy and hold the wrong stocks for the next 6 months to 12 months, they might be absolute dog crap for the next 12 years. So people who have this mindset of buy and hold, let's hope it works out, that is what you do when you want to lose. And people go, "What do you mean I want to lose?" You're believing in certainty. Asking me what is going to ultimately happen. I have one thesis, and I put it, and it's literally posted to my Twitter account. And if you don't know it, please watch it. And I said this in, what was it? November? What did we say? It's here. Here it is, the YouTube. Boom. Go right to it. Right here in my link. Who wins the upcoming tech war? And I've said this a bazillion times. It's going to be commodities. Oh, sorry, it's not right there. It's right here. Right here. But that doesn't mean, and I've said, just like 2004, just like coming into the bull market of the last commodities bull cycle, there was a lot of volatility. Now, again, oil might go to $300 a barrel, but it could really get floppy and choppy in the low 100s to upper to mid, whatever, 50 to 80 range, like whatever double-digit integer low you think. So, just saying, be careful. Like, again, we don't know anything about oil long-term, other than that there is demand at a certain price, and that a certain price creates demand destruction, and it changes the economy. Until earnings and wages rise, that's going to be the case. So you can't really bet on moonshot oil yet, okay? Wages aren't going up. Inflation hasn't taken that deep of a root yet, okay? Keep that in mind. It's the same thing with gold. Like, I like gold long term, but I don't believe that the big move is started. And people are like, oh, you're crazy. The big move is absolutely. I'm like, no, it hasn't. And look at today, the action, wipeout. All right, so if you're familiar, watch oil. What's the downside target? I don't know. Again, it probably should hold this box around 100. I mean, do we want to stretch it out a little bit and just say this area here, maybe 94, 93? Yeah, I guess that's safe. But what is the ultimate downside? You got to watch the charts. You don't know until it happens. Like, people trade targets like they're easy to pull out. Like, how do you know oil bottoms at 93? Like, what part of your brain thinks that you can actually predict the final tick, the final end of a move, the very top, the very bottom? You can't. So you layer in and you layer out. If you want to start buying oil, then you start buying it around there maybe, and then you set your stops. But again, I'm not buying oil at any point coming up. My whole thesis is going to be short pops. That to me has the bigger downside, because if we are going into recession, then oil will absolutely get slapped. It did in 2008. We'll get into that later. The TLT, what have we said? If you bought it down here, congrats. It's been rising. Probably gets up to the 20 to 25 range. Let me draw a little box because I have it on my other computer. I would guess somewhere around here. Maybe it could go higher. Again, the more you're up, the less you own. That's an easy problem to have. The dollar. Now, put out a tweet about this today. This got interesting. I have some alerts up here. Check it out. You're getting into price points into this, I said mid 28s, maybe even to 29. You got up to 28.56. I would, again, this probably 28, 29 area probably becomes a target. I don't know. I've said this a bazillion times. Everyone's betting on the dollar to die. You're wrong. The dollar dies on a blaze of glory going higher. Just like a bottom happens when something absolutely gets destroyed. People who are calling for the dollar to get destroyed need to realize it has to go on a moonshot first before it blows out. Think of everything else. Bitcoin, Tesla, whatever. Before it got blown out and the top happened, it went on a moonshot. The dollar is the most powerful currency of all time history. It's not going to go out like a punk biatch. It's probably going to go higher first. So how much higher? Whatever. It doesn't matter. I think it might be near term topping, but it doesn't mean it can't go higher later in the summer. That's what I'm, again, keep in mind, we're trading a bear market rally. VIX back down to the 21s, maybe even down into the 19s. That's what we're betting on. This is not a long-term sustainable trade. I've showed you this for, I don't know, do I need to do it every video? I hope not. Check out 2008, 2007, 2009. You had this successive higher highs and higher lows. And then when it went, it went. Remember, it went in October. September, October. Look at this. Successive higher highs, higher lows. Don't be surprised if we get back down into somewhere in this 19 range. Again, the seasonality, July. I say it every video. Check out the side rooms. Also, again, you need to have the Stock Traders Almanac. It tells you, it talks about this, the seasonality. I literally post it here. I'll go back to the room. This is where a lot of this stuff is. A lot of people don't even know what's going on. They just come in the room and they chat, and they don't really pay attention. And here you go. Here are the reference articles. July. Watch for entries towards the last few days of the month. Expect chop into the summer. The first half can be good, but watch for profit taking middle of July. The first half of July can be good. First half of July can bring the VIX right back down. Okay? Simple. SPY. Put out some amazing trades today. People were probably at the morning going crazy. We said watch the 3-day range. Watch this area. Here you go. You can see it on the hourly. Here you go. It was the 618 off the lows. Holding, held, going higher. I think we're going higher. Everyone's bearish. I've said this a bazillion times. Once the market concedes there's a bear market and it's down 20, 30% in retail and every person out there is now bearish, what is it going to do? It's probably going to flip the other way to trap them to not give up. And when I say not give up, they're not going to sell any stock on the next rally. And then if the bear market continues, they get blown out, then they sell at the low. That's always how it happens. Keep in mind, like, people want to bury their head. The hard decision is to act. You have to remember that, okay? The market does not want these people to give up. until the lows. You have to remember that. So, oh, SPY. Where do we think it's going? People get, what's the price target? Let's talk about it. Well, naturally coming off the lows, if it's a real bear market rally, my guess is that since we've had more churn at the lows, the 20-day is not going to be resistance. I think we're probably going to go significantly higher. So could it come into this channel, 50-day? Could it come into this channel, up at the 410s? My guess, again, I mean, that would be pretty crazy, 438, 200-day. I'm going to say somewhere above 400. That's the zero doubt in my brain. Like, there's no way we're not getting over 400 because it's going to be such a psychological point where once it gets over 400, people are going to come blowing back into the market. They're going to go, oh, God, the bear market's over. Oil's down. The rates have come down. Oh, shit, we missed the bottom. I've got to get in. And that's where we'll probably be selling our bullish positions and going short. What level? I don't know. We have to watch the action. You know, how did we know to short up here? Well, we had references and took it. How did we know to short up here? We had references and we took it. Actually, that was the best time right there. Boom. Anyway, it just is what it is. We'll be patient. We'll let it get there. Qs. Why do we think the Qs are going to lead? Again, if rates are coming down, oil is peaking. Deflation. What loves deflation? The same thing that liked it for the last 13 years. Tech stocks. QQQ. Notice what's going on here. If you check out the hourly, talked about this. Here you go. You had 1, 2, 3 bottoms. Never such thing as a triple bottom. Well, yeah, there are 3-day ranges. Now what do you have? It's like a left. I mean, I've talked about this on the Discord room. It's like a little. It's not the prettiest head and shoulders pattern, but here's your left shoulder. Here's your 2-humped camel right shoulder. I don't know. Again, these levels are all that mattered. As long as they held them, they mattered. How many times they got to touch? I've told this relentlessly to people. If you're expecting V bottoms, you are an idiot who has not done their homework. And I mean that in the nicest way, because it's like me watching a hockey game and trying to understand what's going on and asking 1,000 questions about what's icing and what are the rules. And it's like, hey guy, hey, bro, read the rules. Like, that's the rules of the game. Like, V bottoms aren't normal. Here, look at this bottom, multiple choppy day. Look at this top, choppy. Here's the top, a retest. Here was a bottom, a retest. Here was a choppy 3-day range. Here was a choppy high. Do you see my point? Like, these V tops and bottoms, whatever you want to call them, are not the norm. I don't mean to be mean, but that's just the realization. IWM, we talked about this leading first. Keep in mind, look at peaked first in November before the markets. Watch, look at the SPY. I think it peaked in January, if I remember correctly. Yeah, peaked in January. Notice that the IWM was in November. Well, look at the IWM. We've talked about this a bazillion times. Said it. You were at the 2020 and 2018 highs. You're probably going to find buyers. How high does it go? I don't know. Probably up here to the 190s. That seems safe. Now, when I say safe, like, that seems logical. All right, let's get into it, because I honestly, as much as I hate to see bulls lose in gold, I feel like I have dodged a bullet, like Neo, because I am one of those people who loves gold, silver, gold miners. I trade these things all the time. I left them alone. Like, we bought a ton last fall. We sold it on the first pop and then the second one. A little up here because we thought maybe it could go higher based on news. But then when it came back and it couldn't make new lows, and this is the 2011 high, and it failed it was like game over. Get away. Now what? Every day people are like, oh man, you get really emotional about this, because I'm like, I've been in these people's position. I'm the one who loves gold, but I've said this handle is going to take as long as it needs, and I think honestly 150s, maybe even 140s would be the absolute bottom, which takes gold, what, 1700, maybe 1680. Remember 1680? We'll see. It's due to bounce again. My point of what I try to reiterate for people with gold: you are in a world of purgatory. Okay? Here, I've drawn this. I thought like you're going to make like this choppy lower, and then at some point you will rip higher. You are in a world of purgatory. You are not going anywhere until the bear market capitulates, meaning VIX 50 plus minimum. And then it might still go sideways as the market comes out of the wipeout. Again, the long term, love it. Love these prices. I mean, but if you're buying shares or you're buying options, like you're buying leaps, you are just... you're missing out on other opportunities. That's what I talk about. Like, you only have so many opportunities with your cash. You put your bullets to work in something that's not going anywhere, uranium, gold, silver, maybe even oil, near term, you are just dead money. You could be trading this. And this is what a bear market is, trading market. Silver, same thing. I've said this, the best times to buy silver, here you go. COVID wipeout, pop. 2008, crash down to 2009. Remember October, back up. Everything else in between that is crap. Down. Crap down. Look at this. Pop, crap down. You only had 2 really monster opportunities. I'm trying to remember what happened in 2015, right before this bounce, because it went from 13 up to, what, 21? I guess that's if you want to trade that. I mean, there's a million trades that make 45% in the last decade. At this point, leave it alone. And someone's going to go, it's going to pop next week, and someone's going to go, you missed the bottom. And I'm going to say, no, I didn't, because I know how silver works. It is a wild sucker. And again, we talked about, like, in the fall, I mean, so many lines. I tell you, I trade this stuff. It took a while to bottom. I apologize. Oh, you're moving all your stuff. Oh, whatever. Point being, clean up the charts. The trend is down. Now, again, it could pop. Talked about breaking the downtrend, popped. Double bottom, then went lower high, fail. You don't need to be early. GDXJ, same thing. I mean, I feel like I dodged an uber bullet because I was really thinking about, you got to buy it down here in the 29s. Love this range, broken below it. No. When is the best time to buy miners? Again, blowout, pow. Blowout, rip. Do not get silly aggressive yet. Now, again, I think long term, you're probably fishing in the right holes, but it doesn't mean these things couldn't get down to 15. Like, do you want to take another 40, 50% ride down? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And again, people go, when is it going to bottom? When it bottoms. It's like that, you know, I always joke like that example of when the kids are in the car. When are we going to get there? When we get there, we don't know. We need to watch for volume, capitulation, sentiment. I've said this a bazillion times. I've never seen gold and silver. Here you go. Zip, pop. I've never seen gold and silver. Again, this came out in 2010. You've never seen gold and silver bottom on what? Kumbaya, everybody loves it? No. You want to kill silver. You hate gold at the lows. And even bulls. I've said this a bazillion, but that's how it works. I mean, I've seen so many people come and write posts like, you're going to miss the bottom. Look, it's time to buy. And it's like, these people, when they say, hey, Dan, I'm sorry, you were right, which is going to be sad because hopefully they get out before then. It's going to be those people who just what? They held endlessly. It's like lower lows. Here we go. AG. Said this a bazillion times. We told you to get out right here. We said bottom down here. Look at this nice buy zone. Bought this in the 8s and 9s. Ripped up to 14s. Let it be. Everyone's like, you got to buy it. I'm like, nope, I'm not buying it. Where can it go? I don't know, 4 or 5? This is really hard to say every day because I love gold and silver. I see so many people in pain because of stuff, and they won't sell it. And I really don't know how low this stuff could go. I said maybe down, I like in the 30s, which is, you know, another 50% haircut from here at 45. NFGC, I like this company. I mean, Sprott's all over it, but what is it? It's just making lower lows. I've said I liked it at 5. I actually bought it for a little bit and then caught myself going, whoa, you are crazy. You're crazy. And then I think it was this month, bought it and it got back up to 6. Yeah, got out close to it and was just like, all right, I made a nickel and was like, I'm done. What am I doing? The market's not bottoming. This thing could go, it could go sub IPO. You don't know. Like, it hurts me to like, because again, I feel like gold and silver people are my family. Because again, to believe in gold and silver means you have a certain belief about the credibility of the dollar, the sustainability of debt, and how this all plays out. Like, it all gets ugly eventually. But we don't know when it ends. And they will absolutely take these things down to the ground if they need to before they pop. Seen it 100 times. Materials names. Okay, so I'm going to update you on the trades, what I did. I bought a little X. I got stopped out the first day. It's making new lows. I don't know where the bottom is. I like tech. I mean, we're at the bottom of the range. So if you want to buy it and you want to put a stop, I don't blame you. Buy it at 17, put a stop at the low of the day today. It should not make lower lows at this point. The market is bouncing, making a higher low, right? We saw it in the SPY. We saw that 3-day range low, higher lows. This does not need to keep going lower. If it is, it's telling you something's wrong. What is that? We don't know until it happens. VALE, it hit some 13 alarms. I heard them go off here at like 1350. again, it should hold here. If it doesn't, have a stop, you're gone. It's really that simple. Nucor, I still own this. And honestly, I probably should have stopped out. And then it rallied back, and I said, I told everyone in the room, if it gets over 103, I'll hold it. It got back over 103, and it closed over 104.60. Again, they guided up last week. This company is a monster. 180 down to 100. That is a big move. Even if it's just a bounce, like 116 to 135, I think I'll play the 20, 30 points, potentially. Maybe it gets a 200 day. I don't know. Again, but I have stops. Trust me, I am not sitting here going to hold endlessly. I have a plan. If I stop out, it's fine. Okay? CCJ, again, here's another one. I like uranium long term, but I hope this isn't purgatory. I've said that here was your left shoulder, here was your right shoulder, here was the peak. And if you didn't know why we like the peak, let me show you again, because we always zoom out. We said, watch this zone in here. Well, where's my volume at price? Where is the volume at price? Hold on. Disappeared. Where is it? Bollinger Bands. Favorites. I love to pull them up every once in a while. Volume at price. What do they call it here? Volume study? Or the built-in studies? No. Oh, there it is. Yep. I don't know why I deleted. Okay, there you go. Said, watch this like vacuum here. You were at, you could see it was like the low end of the range. Now I'm too far back. Hold on. Compress it all. Compress powers. That be. There you go. You said you're coming into like this. There's going to be a ton of overhead resistance. Now I know the VAP zone is up here, but look at these support, 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 broke. Support broke. Support broke. Boom, boom, boom. You knew this area. Look at it. Got up to 32. Failed. Now again, long term, it looks like there's buyers down here. Like no one's going to argue that. It just could be purgatory. Sideways is purgatory. It's just hard to say. Mosaic, okay, this is a trade that we lost on, or I lost on. I started buying it down here at 45. It got below 45, I liquidated. Now I know it's getting close to my trend lines, which sucks. But again, I bought other things and I moved on. Now again, if you were still in Mosaic, what do you want to do? Set a tight stop. This thing should not keep going lower. If the market's going higher and this is going lower, that's a problem. Now it could rally back later. Get back in. Just don't hold it. I hate investing in losers. Because you have opportunity costs. You could be, when I sold Mosaic, I bought more Soxel, I bought SPY calls, and then I have some cash here ready to fly. That was an opportunity cost. It made me way more money dumping my Mosaic and buying SPY calls and Soxel than holding them. Now again, why do you sell? Your stop is your stop. I posted in the room. Just didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like the action. While Nucor, and here's the difference between Nucor and Mosaic. Nucor just kept making lower lows as the day went on. What did Nucor do? Close green, close at the high of the day. It acted a lot better, right? See that? Close back at the high of the day. Nucor or Mosaic didn't. We'll see what happens. CF, again, this one actually held up pretty good, making a higher low. Maybe CF's the better play than Mosaic. Keep that in mind. I don't know. Let's get into tech because this is what I'm excited about. Everybody's been like, you've been bearish forever. How can you get excited? Well, look at we're hitting the range lows of what I'm expecting. Why would I not get excited about AMD? Look at it. Support, 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 support. Okay, let me zoom in. You can probably see it better. Here, it's all right here. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch. Here you go. It's going to touch and probably bounce. Now, how high? I don't know. Again, the CHIPS Act. I'm going to remind you of this a million times. The CHIPS Act is coming. It's in Congress. Congress needs to buy their stock and their options and their calls, whatever they need to do. This is probably going to run up into that. And now here you go at the lows. I like it. I do. Let me pull, where's the SMH? I don't know why I haven't saved it here. Let me move you back. Let's move you into the Discord. Variety. What did we say today? Wow. Watch the open. Don't give up on this trade right at the open. If you had to stop out, not a problem. I have no problem with that on a gap down, stopping out and see what happens. But if you watch the first 10 minutes today, well, that's a weird candle after hours. Why does this not look right? All right, hold on 2 seconds. I apologize. Let's use this daily candle. We'll change this to a 10-minute. It'll show it right. There's the open. It's showing all sessions again. It's really, wow, that's a big order after hours. Holy crap. Hey, note to self, guys in Discord, let's keep an eye on this because this is a big after hours trade. That is 1.5 million shares. You usually trade like, I think today would appear, yeah, 368. Like you're trading 30, 40,000 shares an hour. Let's get that thing off the chart because it's really screwing it up. What do we notice at the open? Right? Remember, I am Colorado time, 7:30. Doji, immediate doji. Watch out. Then you had chop. Look at the volume here. Someone had the stopping power. Then it pumped, came back, lighter volume, and then it kept running. I need to analyze this candle later. Holy crap. Because somebody liquidated and someone absorbed it. Massive volume. That is crazy. Hit me up in the Discord room. We need to talk about that. But look at the open. Sideways. I know this is a gap down. It sucks because he closed at like 195 or 196. Maybe even 197. What was the actual close? It doesn't matter. Yeah, 196. Look at this action. She stopped out. You rebought. We rebought. Actually, I didn't sell anything. I'm saying people rebought. I actually added Soxel. Where is that little bugger? It doesn't matter. It's the leverage ETF. Bought Soxel on the dip today. I expect the SMH to run into the CHIPS Act, which will be announced at some point. Congress is a bunch of idiots. They're going to take their time and they're going to argue about it, and they just love spending money. Dan, why would you buy it here? Well, we're at some trend lines, my friend. We are. We're at this old upper trend bound. Let me thicken it up because you can really see it was like a little harder to see. This bottom, and there was this top here. Now, again, how you're also at, these are fib extensions. I apologize. Let me draw some for you. Let me just take it from the 2019 lows. You're at the 50% fib. You're at a channel. Oversold. Too fast. Way too much. 320 down to 192 or whatever the low is. 190. Way too fast. Now I know semiconductors, they're overproducing. I know, trust me, the fundamentals aren't long-term bullish. No one's going to argue that. Okay? Nobody. But we are due to bounce. And you can understand why. Well, Dan, where's your target? Well, what do we say sometimes? Sometimes the last move is a shakeout of a channel, right? And now you go. All right, you broke down, coming right back. Upside, I'm looking at buying some calls on the 200. I mean, I still think you're going to get into the 240, maybe 250 range, which would be a 25% up move, which would be normal in a bear market for a rally. People are going, you're crazy. It's like, all right, well, you saw it here. What would you do? 237 up to 290, 280s. What's the percentage on that? $3 is 10%, $24. So add 50 points to that. Almost 290. Yeah, I mean 20%. It's possible. And again, we don't know. Don't ask me that question. And it's not to be mean. I don't know. We don't know. Like, look at this little blow off. Like this nice runaway gap at the highs. Jesus, you just moved your trend line. That was a good point. Here you go. Choppy top at the trend. I mean, here's your trend right here. We'll see what happens ultimately. We will see what happens. I just got to remove this thing now. Just be aware. That's all. Again, people are like, oh, you're bullish. It's a trader's market. Bear markets are meant to be traded. Anyway, Apple. Let's look more into tech because you're going to see this stuff. Apple, talked about it bottoming, choppy bottom. Now it's bouncing, making higher highs, higher lows, potentially higher high. How high? Probably in the 150, 160s. Really that simple. Okay. Here's something I want to pull up is Micron, because they had their earnings last week. We talked about this getting absolutely trashed. And look what happened. Doji, volume, and then engulfing bar. That is telling you the SMH is probably going to rally because these stocks are oversold. I mean, this Micron what was the high? 97, 98? You pull back to 50. I mean, I saw it in the 50s post earnings. Don't be surprised if it pops back to 65. I mean, again, 15, 20, 30%. Not a bad shot up. Okay, good. Roadblocks, here we go. Here's another one. A DMAX VPA special. Sadly, we did not buy here. Sadly, I did not buy here. I know some other people did. I bought this day. What was it? I guess technically it was Thursday. I was like, oh, I'm watching this lower high. I'm watching this area compress, all the volume pull back. And I'm like, well, I think the market's going up next week. As much as I don't want to buy it 34 to 32 range, I just held my nose and said, all right, the market's going higher. Let's go. Boom, rip. Now we're at 40. What have I said? Watch the 100-day. Keep in mind, this thing has gotten absolutely obliterated. I would not be surprised if it gets up into the 50s. I've said that a bazillion times. I think it's possible. Again, you are doji on the monthly. Let's get rid of that because that's not it. Now what? Let's flip this upside down, actually, because it's time to act like we have the bottom. Now the bottom, top down. Where can we get? Oh, boy. It's anything is possible. I'd say somewhere in this 50 range. You can see it, monthly candles. To the IPO price, somewhere in the 60s. There you go. I don't know, but I know this is someone squeezing, getting squeezed. Tesla. Some folks on this were like, check it out. Check it out. And I was like, yep, I agree. Should absolutely bounce. Higher highs, higher lows. Said if the Nasdaq's gonna bounce, so is Tesla. This stuff isn't that hard, folks. Oh, let's talk about another one we recommended in the 11 to 12 range recently. Said this is getting interesting. Look at that, EXPI bounce, nice. UTHR, here you go, folks. Here's another winner we've given you. Watch the double bottom, volume price analysis. You saw the volume eat up. Another double bottom at the trend. We started drawing this trend after the fact, obviously, but it was that bottom. I thought it could be because again, what did I say at the beginning of the video? V bottoms. Don't bet on them. Don't assume them. Double bottoms, head and shoulders bottoms, retest, choppy, sloppy, whatever, higher lows, lower highs, whatever you want to call it. Higher lows, retesting lows. Lower lows? I mean, they're all possible. Schwink. Now what? Said take some profit, pulls back. You could probably add some. Now what? Just roll up your stops. Congratulations. Again, I mean, this VPA stuff and what we recommend, people are always like, oh, what do you think of this and this stock? I'm like, I don't have time to go through and analyze these that hard because more times than not, they're crappy stocks. Oh, crap. I forgot Meta. Let's pull that back in there. Ooh, what do we say? Down here. Here you go. Here's your little head and shoulders. Ba-ding. I think, again, it could go to channel highs. Oh, but Dan, you were buying it in the 150s, you idiot. I was told. Well, look at that. Well, look at that. We're now going to rally probably, and how high? I don't know. But it's oversold. Remember, this thing was at 380, right? 382. It's now at $1.50. Again, I don't care about Facebook's long-term prospects. This is just a trade. I think it's going higher. That's simple. I apologize for messing up the order. Every once in a while, I make a mistake. I'm not perfect. Let's end it with oil. The USO. What did we say? Hit the 20-day. Where's Eric at? Shout out Eric, because he thought the same thing. 20-day. Kaboom! Wow. Now what? I said I think the USO is a crappy ETF and will go lower. You can play the SCO as the opposite. Again, I just, at a certain point, let's take the fibs off. Let's really get this going. Where now? We're at the 0.382. I mean, I could see, let me get this trend line doesn't really seem that important at this point. Again, my thesis is oil's going lower. I don't know how it's going to get there. At this point, do not short it on the downs. Wait for pops to short. I think you will see oil going lower. XOP, I put out an alert. Watch the 112s. Why 112, Dan? Because it's the old high from November. Look at that. It's an old trend line. Sorry for the shitty chart. Too much going on. Look at that. Held it. Long wick. It could be a capitulation point. I think you will get some sort of head and shoulders. Just that simple. ExxonMobil. Congrats to friends who shorted that. And again, I missed this one because I thought it hit the 20-day. I thought it'd fill this gap. Nope. Not a bad 293 down to 84. Please take your money. I think they're going to be like, oh, it's going lower. You know, I give it a couple weeks. Oh boy. Time machine. I went really far out there. PXD. Said this. Watch the 200-day. Watch this band. There's a lot of these names that are in this little funk zone. Talking about holding here. Maybe it goes a little lower. I don't know. remember, B bottoms. Don't believe in them. This could be the lower, higher low, or a lower low, and that rallies back. Banger. Bang banger. Channel low. Be aware. Probably should bounce. I mean, it's gone from 163 down to 112. Good bounce. All right. I hope this stuff helps. Again, stop by the Discord room, but if I seem like I'm busting balls or whatever you want to call it, like being tough on people, I got to really focus on the market. People want me to focus on the market, not answer your individual beginner questions. And if I would appreciate, if you're going to ask questions, then do the homework. Watch the videos. Try to figure out the answer first, because that's where you really learn. Like, how do you come to your answers is how you teach somebody. And again, and it's how you learn. Like, if I just give you the answer and you just give yourself the answer, it doesn't really mean much. Hope that kind of like teaching, like, because that's what we're here for, to teach. This trading stuff, if you learn to trade well, and this is what, you know, I was always taught, did you trade well? Because you're going to make mistakes and things are going to go wrong, but did you trade well? Did you do everything the best you could? Meaning, did you have your stops? And if you were wrong, you're out. Did you do everything you could as the stock started rising? If you trade well, it takes care of itself. And so if you're evidence-based and you're not just this person who goes, well, I believe this and I think that and I hope this and I'm a gut trader, I don't, you know, technicals and all that, blah, blah. No. Again, we talk about all the ways to trade. You need to think like the market maker, not like a retail trader. Like, if you understand the market's trying to take your money, then you need to think about how that works, not how do you, I mean, not even defend yourself. It's more like, just what do you know how they're trying to take your money? Do you know the game? It's all repeating patterns. There's nothing new in trading. I tell that to people all the time. This stuff just moves faster. It's just a little more crazy sometimes. But the market's playing the same game for years. I mean, literally since the beginning. And it's like blackjack. There's just certain strategies and certain things happen certain ways. And if you are just always trading to trade and you're trading wrong, it's going to get you at some point. You know, I had this joke about options. People are like, oh, I made a ton of money. And then they juice their, like, they started with a $10,000 account and they bet it all on options. Then they double their account and they bet 20,000 and they turn into 30 or 40 and they're like, oh, I'm a genius. And then they go big on $40,000 worth of options and then they're right back where they started. You were not good. You were lucky. Remember that. Sometimes you can get lucky and win in trading. Our goal is not to be lucky, gut-based, or any sort of thing where we are just hoping and wishing. We need to be evidence-based, because if we're not evidence-based, we don't know where to cut out and run. You know, think about it. Like, if you're waiting to buy FANG and you have no evidence to buy it, like, you're just throwing a dart. Why don't you buy it here? Why don't you buy it here? Why don't you buy it here? Why don't you buy it on this day? You don't know. Again, I've said stay away from XOP. I took all my drip off and it went higher today. I'm happy for people. But I'm out. The easy money to me is out. Hope that you're doing well. Again, try to figure this stuff out through resources in the room before you ask me. Because if you ask me and I feel like you're not trying, that's not fair. That's not fair to everyone else who did work their ass off to figure out how the hell did I go from losing all the time to winning. There's a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there who've lost and have come back. And the way they came back was through their education. It wasn't following me. Maybe, again, like as I tell you, we're on a journey. We're walking together. I'm not leading you. You're not leading me. We walk together. You, my friend, are becoming your own master of trading. You don't want to be reliant on anybody, because your personality is different than mine. Your trading style will ultimately be around whatever evidence and time frame you trade off of. That's how you got to run it. Again, what I do, what you do, we won't all be the same, because my personality is different than yours. Hope you had a great weekend. Look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.